Welcome, everybody, to the Wednesday night stream on the Practical IT channel. For those who may not know me, I'm Jeremy, and tonight we've got some interesting stuff to talk about, I hope. First of all, let's take a look and see who is in the chat area and say hello to them. We've got Grish. We've got TVJ coming in the number 2 spot at 7:15 p.m. for a 9:05 stream. And Josephus. That just never gets old. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a couple things that are off script for tonight, but I thought were interesting. So some of you might be fans of Vim, which is a text editor that's available practically everywhere on Linux and Mac OS and other Unix type systems. But have you heard of Helix? Helix is like, it's cool. I just found out about Helix last night. So, yeah, let's take a look at that here for just a second. I'm back. We can't stay long. I just got home from my work trip, and then we are leaving tomorrow for vacation. That's fair. No one actually likes Vim. Well, I always had sort of a love-hate relationship with Vim. There were some things that it was really good at, and some things that just irked me. And so the thing I like about Helix, and I'm just going to list out shell scripts that I've got in my home folder. But the thing I like about Helix, if we do HXBUSH, it's got syntax highlighting out of the box. Now, it still has the concept of normal mode and insert mode. But one of the cool things that kind of reminds me of making it sort of a hybrid between Vim and Nano, if you do the colon command, it gives you a list of a bunch of the commands that you can use. And so you can just do Q exclamation point, just like you would in Vim, and you will quit. And so that's kind of cool. Let's see. Let's do this. So this is just an ARP scan log from a good while back. What else do I have in here? Text files. Oh, pause.conf. I don't even remember what this was for. What else? I mean, there's text files. But you sort of get the idea. You got your comments, you got your links that are underlined, you've got different things that are in color, and this is just a bash script. So you know, this is useful, I guess. You know, so that's kind of useful. But anyway, I didn't even know Helix existed. I guess it's somewhat new. Maybe not feature complete compared to Vim. And it's certainly not preloaded on most distributions. I installed it with Homebrew on Mac OS, and it's been a novelty to play with, I guess, but I don't know how much I'll really end up using it. But I thought, it would be interesting to at least show this off and raise a little bit of awareness. All right. So, sudo apt install nano. Yep, pretty much. Any place that nano is not installed, I normally install it. One of the first things I do. And if I were really on top of things, I'd have an Ansible script that would just do it for me. All right, moving on. What did I get from Prime Days? Well, I only bought two things at this point. One of them is a shiny new trackball. This is actually identical to the one I've got at work, other than the color. The one I've got at work is purple. This is sort of a slate gray with a black body on the rest of it. It is rechargeable, and I will be taking this with me on vacation to Illinois, just because I don't need as much space with this as I would with a mouse. So on the limited desk surface that I will have to work from while I'm down there. So this is the it's an inexpensive. The model number is MBD5. Seenda Technology, SEENDA. And of course, it's made in our favorite communist country. The other thing I picked up, and this was the splurge purchase, because I was curious enough about a piece of software I found. I picked up the original Insta360 Link camera. This is a USB only webcam, 4K, pan tilt zoom, motion tracking, the whole AI crap built into it. But the interesting thing is, I don't have Firefox launched. The interesting thing about it is that there is now an app. It's unofficial, but there is an app for Linux to control this device. That was the selling point for me. So let me take a look and see if I can't find that. I could do it quicker this way. Let's see. So you can run the Windows version of the Insta360 Studio through Wine, Or um, that's all not in English, which is wonderful. Dun, dun, dun. Well, let's go to Flat Hub. And just search Insta360. And of course, I can't put my fingers on it. Because that would be too freaking easy. That would be too freaking easy. Let's see. Let's see what I can find. Flat Hub. I swear. Let's do a search here. No, not that one. This one. Nope, that's not it. Well, that's a bummer. I swear I had that saved somewhere. Software. Well, sooner or later I'll find it, I'm sure. Let's see. I think TVJ is left already. He said he's going to the west side of Michigan somewhere. He didn't give any other specifics other than a general regional location. Let's see. We will find this one way or another. That's from April, so it might be under this one. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, Shotwell dart table. All right. Well, I guess we're not going to find it. Okay. So oh well, maybe TVJ is still around. Um, some small town outside South Haven. Interesting. Forgot the name, but it is not one I've heard before. Okay. Oh, cool. I was just wondering the same thing. All right. While you guys are talking, I'm going to take one more perusal of this. See if I can't find it. Um, okay. Oh, somebody's hitting me. Wish I can listen to the stream. Um, I'm not muted. I don't know. Must have something. Is that your lawnmower? All right. Let's see. Well, yeah. I suppose I could show you what I'm seeing. A bunch of Reddit posts. Those are from 3 years ago. Um, oh, these stupid AI summaries. Ugh. Webcam control. Derp. Okay. Webcam control is a Linux GUI app that can be used to control properties of your webcam, such as pan, tilt, zoom, etc. Primarily designed as an alternative to the Insta360 Link controller software for controlling Insta360 Link cameras. However, it should work with any webcam supported by Video for Linux. And so there's a screenshot. I knew I would find it sooner or later. So yeah, webcam control, blah, blah, blah. Has a mini view that can be used to unobtrusively pan tilt zoom. So it might not be a full-on clone of the software that comes with it, but it does have presets. And it's got a flat pack. So I'll bring that up. And that's the flat pack. Currently at version 1.0.0. And so yeah, maybe we'll get brave and kick on the Ubuntu box over there and hook the camera up before the stream is over. So okay. Wow, people are chatty tonight. Richard is with us. Welcome in. Let's see. 40 miles south of Traverse City in Cadillac. I think I've been through Cadillac once. Skid steer. All right, that's fair. David, you haven't missed much tonight. Did a little demo of the Helix text editor. Not sure if there's a Windows version of that or not. I haven't looked. It's similar to Vim, but it gives you a little more visual feedback, shall we say, for various commands. Let's see. If you get up this way, should meet for coffee or something. Cool. Have a good one, Jay. Enjoy the drive tomorrow. I'll be driving on Friday. All right. So we've talked about the webcam control software for the Insta360. We'll circle around to that again in a bit. But we've got Terrell with us tonight. So I've got something I just discovered today. And that is an application called RapidRaw. And it's a Lightroom alternative. And it's not just for Mac OS. Because I installed it and ran it on Linux earlier. In fact, so it does look somewhat like Lightroom. Beautiful, non-destructive, and GPU-accelerated raw image editor built with performance in mind. Under 30 megabytes, available for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Should be listed the other way around, so it's in alphabetical order. But developed this project as a personal challenge at the age of 18. Written in React and Rust, and had help from Google Gemini to actually write it. So here's just a little video on the GitHub site. And Honestly, I haven't been shooting in RAW much lately. I haven't actually been out with my nicer camera lately. And we're almost halfway through the summer. I should really get on top of that. It's either been hot or rainy, and so I haven't had good opportunities to go out and do it. But um, anyway, it's a work in progress. There's still things that need to be done. Um, it is going to have some AI in it, or does already. Built-in AI masking and optional generative AI. But you've got to have an external comfy UI backend. I have not investigated what that is. Here's a link to comfy UI. The most powerful and modular diffusion model GUI, API, and backend with graphs nodes interface. Okay, that doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot to me. Anyways, lets you design and execute advanced stable diffusion pipelines using a graph nodes flowchart based interface. Available cross-platform. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up and at least let people know that it's out there. And so this RapidRaw was just updated yesterday. So yeah, there's notes for running it on Mac OS. There have been 13 releases up to this point. Didn't run on Mac OS until version 1.2. It's fine. Oh, well, maybe I read that wrong. Anyway, sounds like this is going to be an interesting app to keep an eye on. Maybe this will be a good competitor to some of the other stuff like Raw Therapy and Digicam and Darktable and whatnot that all run on Linux, or really they mostly originated on Linux. But yeah, I may somewhere have some raw files. I don't know if I'll be able to put my finger on them tonight during the stream, but anyway. So we've covered that. Let's see what we are. Let's see. Send me the link in Signal if you could. Yep, I can drop this in Signal. Fire up Signal. And all right, so you should have one link in there. Yeah, if you try it out and do some processing with it, I mean, I would be interesting to see like a side-by-side comparison of what you could do with Lightroom proper versus this pretty new software. You know, just to see if you can get something close to a finished product in both, or close to the same product in both. So good to hear. Good to hear. I'm always happy to talk about new and interesting software that, you know, people in the audience might find useful either now or in the future. All right. So let's see if bugger. Let me do this first. See if YouTube has come through for me and actually updated what I've earned so far this month. Oh, okay. And I can mark red. This I need to postpone. Bear with me just a minute. Don't want to do that. I want to postpone that. Okay. Why is it not letting me save that? Dismiss that. That will hopefully buy me some time. All right. Sorry about that. I got an email on something and I needed to reschedule it. Okay. So we'll bring this up. Okay. I wanted to talk briefly tonight about Porteus Kiosk. This is a useful piece of software which up until last year was free for most people. Last year they changed some things. They moved from the, you know, I think it was 2 releases a year to a rolling release type of model. And with that, they started charging for it. Now, the client pricing is not bad. So if you're going to have 1 to 10 PCs running the kiosk software, they're 40 euros a piece. And So 40 euros would be about $47, give or take. So it's just one of those things that, yeah, I get what they're trying to do. They need to maintain their own servers to have the updates on, and it's just the way they've decided to do things. It's a small company that runs this and does the development on it. And as much as I would like to see a pure open source option that is free as in beer, I have not found that yet. Now, for $47 US per year, I will probably keep on using this. I actually need to do the upgrade on the kiosk we've got at the library. And once I'm back from vacation, that will be one of several projects I will be working on. But where it gets interesting is the pricing of their server. So one server can support up to 1,000 clients. So you really only need one, but they've pegged it at 300 euros, which you're talking $352.32 a year. And to me, that's a little on the excessive side, unless you're going to have, 10 or more clients. Again, it's all about how much of a budget you've got or your organization has. So yeah, they did just release a version on 7.6, bumping Firefox up to version 140 and Chrome to version 138. But it's one of those things that it's nice to have even a kiosk system that isn't going to have users running normal applications. It's nice to have the peace of mind that it's going to get updated on a regular basis. So it's I wish there were more alternatives available. However, I'm not going to waste a Windows license to run a kiosk on Windows. And, $47 a year is, it wouldn't equal the cost of a Windows Home license until after 2 years. Provided you got a legit license and not one of these bargain basement licenses that you can get from these somewhat shady sites. But it's the version I've been using. I think I'm still on the 5.5 version, which is getting a little old at this point. And that's why I'm itching to get this upgrade handled. But it's been rock solid. If the browser starts acting a little flaky, you just reboot the machine and everything is fine. It's purposely set up so nothing is saved to the machine. So Oh, sorry. It's got a lot of things going for it. Do I wish there were at least a trial version, or a provision for discounts for nonprofits and libraries and such? Sure. But I mean, it is a small log into customer panel. So even to download it, you've got to log in. So I'm going to take myself off screen for a moment. That's probably mine here. Okay. So I can bring that back up. So yeah, starting with the 6.0 release, all our systems require an active automatic update subscription to be fully operational. Offline deployments are not supported. Before you buy the subscription, you're obligated to test the unactivated system version for up to 30 days. We cannot guarantee that the Linux system, which we use as a base for our solution, will be compatible with every PC hardware on the market. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so this is their little client portal. It's nothing, that you haven't seen on other places. The latest version is actually 6.1. And I don't know what they've got on events. Don't want to be there. Anyways, so yeah. So we've installed this before. I'm not going to go through a whole installation, just for the discussion tonight. But if you are in a situation where you are running a booth at a trade event, for libraries and nonprofits and small businesses even that might have a computer in a lobby area for public usage, you could go you could do worse than Porteus Kiosk. Even if you don't run their server component, it's still relatively easy to get and keep it running. You can, for instance, store the configuration on a USB stick. So if you need to, for whatever reason, reinstall or move to a different machine, you can restore that configuration easily. Yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit about Porteus Kiosk. I'm gonna log out of my portal and get that closed up. All right. Yeah, they get you on the server end for sure. I am going to Illinois to visit a friend. He's recently separated from his wife, and she's moved out of the house. So it's just going to be him and I and the dog. And so we're going to a festival put on by one of the local brewing companies on Saturday. Sunday is going to be kind of chill, just lounging around his place. I may, in fact, do a live stream from down there. Not sure when that day, but that would be the day that it would likely happen. And then Monday, I'm trying to get arranged to meet with the head of IT for my buddy's local library, just to kind of compare notes and see some of the stuff that they use to facilitate, their public and their staff computers, different things of that nature. But yeah, and then I drive back on Tuesday. So, and then Wednesday, I get to jump right into we're having our lockers installed at the library. So I've got to finish tomorrow the cabling, which the cabling didn't go as well as I'd planned the other day. So, and then I lost today because of thunderstorms. Most of the time I was at work. So tomorrow I get to run the additional cabling. I have to go to plan B, which I'm glad I had a plan B. With the hopes of returning to plan A at a later date, but because of the time crunch, I'm going to plan B and I'm going to make it work, and I'll revisit it later. Plan B is running the network cable from the outdoor access point to the locker. And that I don't imagine is going to give me any problems. Now that I've said that out loud and put it out into the universe, I'll probably be horribly wrong and be in one hell of a panic tomorrow. But hey, the road to hell is paved in good intentions, right? Actually, it's not well paved and it's full of potholes here in Michigan, but finally can now join the stream. Been busy all weekend grading my property. Welcome in, Grish. So I think I've covered that. The lockers get installed next week. Of course, this week we started having issues with the printing system again. And there are some strange behaviors that I'm observing. So I think something is foobarred somewhere. And I'm going to put a Band-Aid on it, and I'll deal with it next week. Because there aren't going to be enough hours in the day tomorrow, because I already had one person schedule an appointment with me. And so that's probably going to cut an hour out of the time that I normally have to work on other things. And yeah, that's just, it is what it is. When do you plan on finally using the ObsBot camera? I've actually used that for a couple things, just not for the channel. So it is getting used. It's been a minute since I've used it, but it is getting used. But yeah, I've been doing some recording downstairs for the other channel. Most of it's a lot of test footage because I don't have my lighting quite dialed in downstairs the way I do up here. So, it's playing with different settings and trying to get things honed in a bit so that it's more usable. Haven't had a good thunderstorm up there in a while. Well, you can have the storms that we've been getting down here. I do not mind sharing with you. Was off replying to comments I received on my channel during the last 3 days. Yeah, speaking of your channel, David, I watched your video this morning on the wireless HDMI units. And I think I left it in the comment that I'd looked at something similar, but it was only one transmitter, one receiver earlier, I think in June. But I kind of like the one that you demoed because it got me thinking. And of course, I should preface this by saying that one of our big limitations at the library is that the building is 140 years old, and the few minor updates that have been done have not added that many electrical outlets. So one of our big limitations is actual electrical outlets. And some of the outlets that are there, we can't really use because they're behind bookshelves in their infinite wisdom. The building was owned by the city for a number of years. So that says all it needs to say. But anyways, I got to thinking that, it's like one transmitter and two receivers. You could do two digital, you could hook it up to two TVs to do digital signage off from one controller unit pretty easily. And it's like, well, darn, if we only had another few electrical outlets and another TV, we could, have one in the front of the building, one in the back of the building. Theoretically. Whether that would work with the construction of the building that's 140 years old, couldn't tell you. But I would be interested in testing something like that out for future potential uses. I do have a friend that works at a TV shop, we'll call it. And it's a place where they buy returned merchandise from like the big box stores, and they repair it and then they sell it at less than retail of a new unit, right? And it's like, with the number of TVs they've got there, that would be great to, put two of them as, digital signage, and, have the rest of them being able to cycle through different things. But maybe that's something I will float to the owner later on to consider doing, or to, if I bought the equipment, to let me do on a trial basis, experimental basis. I don't know what you'd want to call it, but he's got a good sized building, so it'd be interesting to test it out in that kind of situation. Our print server at work is foobar. It takes over 5 minutes to print 6 pages. Yeah. So this particular print system, I was testing today. I was doing some pretty heavy testing, and I sent to the printer a document that was 600 and change pages. and it said it printed 13, but nothing actually showed up at the printer. So I don't know. Windows and printing and this software apparently don't all play nice together. I have been very tempted to roll my own and come up with something that would be zero charge. The problem is that if I ever left, they'd be up a creek without a paddle. Anyway, will probably be a good camera for travel streams. Yeah. I love a good thunderstorm. I'll go into the garage and sit and listen to the thunder and watch the lightning. Yeah, I mean, I no longer have a garage to go and sit in, but I've done similar things before, for sure. Plan on using my wireless HDMI units in my hobby teaching. Nice. Do those TVs have HDMI power connectors? The ones at the library, I don't think they do. The ones at the TV shop, a good chunk of them would. I really like those devices. One of the best products I've reviewed. Nice. I will definitely keep those in my wish list of items to consider. The folks that sent them to me have created a 20% discount code that I can mention in my notes after the Amazon Prime 20% ends. Nice. Printers and Windows is somewhat haunted. Yeah. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with printers on Windows. Honestly, at this point, my feeling is export everything as PDF, dump it on a server, and then use some other system to print it. But I know that's not a realistic solution in a library type entity. The good news is that the printer that we have in the public area at the library, the lease is done in October of this year, at which time we can move to a different printer and a different printing system. Because basically what we have as requirements is that not only can the staff print to it directly, the computers that are allocated for the public to use have to go through an extra step where the staff releases the print jobs. And then there's also a facility to send from mobile devices. Now, you have to do that through an email. And the problem is that sorry, I'm trying to find my Zen here for a moment because I know some of you are iPhone users. Okay, I'm better. These fine, outstanding citizens that have iPhones can't tell the difference between whether a document is saved on their phone or whether it's saved in iCloud. And so when they attach to an email, about 80% of the time, they attach it from iCloud. And when you send it to the printing system, it sends a link, and you can't print a link. Okay, I got that out without berating iPhone users too much. That's the best I can do on a Wednesday night. I'm sorry if I've offended anybody, but Dagnabbit. The number of times I wanted to smack an iPhone user. That being said, there are a good chunk of Android users that are just as bad. They'll have it saved in Google Drive, and they have no concept of where the document is stored. And then what gets even more interesting is these complete morons. And I've had at least a handful of them that will get a rebate, not a rebate, they'll get a return label from Amazon or somewhere. And instead of getting the PDF version of it, they take a screenshot of that image being displayed in their mail app. And then they expect us to print it in such a fashion that it's going to be large enough for their package and legible. Dealing with the public makes you conclude that there is no hope for the human race. We are all going to die, and it's just going to get more painful every year that goes on. Because if they aren't teaching these doggone kids the basics of what a file system is and where things are stored, even how it relates to a cell phone or other mobile type device or tablet or whatever, it's only going to get worse as we go on. It's only going to get worse. Between the boomers and the zoomers, we're all damned. We are all damned. Okay, I feel better now. Rant over. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I have saved so many people's behinds by using the print to PDF option. Dumping it off on a thumb drive and plugging the thumb drive directly into the printer. Because the printing system is suffering from multiple personality disorder or some such thing. I mean, for all I know, it's manic depressive and schizophrenic all on top of each other. But I'm not a medical professional, and I have no credentials that would allow me to make such a determination. Although, since we're not talking about a human being, it doesn't flippin' matter. It's an inanimate object. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that gets through my list of things to cover tonight. Give me a minute. I'm going to get something to drink and get this Linux box turned on and make sure I can access it through the Jet KVM. And then maybe we'll play with the Insta360 and that webcam control software. So I'll be back momentarily. Okay, I am back, and I've got the Linux machine restarting. And we'll see about getting the software installed, and then we'll plug in the Insta360 camera. And picture probably won't be great because oh, that thing is tiny. The picture probably won't be great because it's going to be sitting over in the dark there, but I do have the big light on here, so maybe that will help the cause. Okay, so if we come back here, I haven't been on the Jet KVM for a minute, so settings 0.4.7, system 0.2.5. System is up to date. All right, well, that's good. Flatpak install. Here we go. Would you like to install it? Yes. Yes. And so with a little luck, we might actually have the software. So, Yes, everybody do please hit like. I would very much appreciate that. Which do you prefer, Jet KVM or the Comet? I'm kind of indifferent. I mean, right now the Comet is on sale for like $69 during the Prime Day sale. So it's got that going for it, and the fact that it's available on Amazon kind of tips me in the direction of the Comet. I do own two Comets because I've got a project for the second one. Other than that, they are very similar in a lot of ways, and I could be very happy using either of them at this point. I haven't found anything that makes me truly prefer one over the others. Okay, here we go. Webcam control. Error has occurred. Probably because I don't have a camera plugged in. So, let's do our little unboxing. So here's the Insta360. You open it up, and it's that little teeny tiny camera. It's got some weight to it, though. All right, so what else do we have in the box? I really don't like unboxings that much, but I'll go through the motions. Okay, in the box, we have a cable and some baggy thing. We've got compliance information, warranty, and the quick start guide, which is probably going to be in multiple languages, judging by this. And we've got a USB-C to USB-A adapter to go with I'm sure it's a USB-C to USB-C cable. Get it out of the stupid plastic they put it in. Yeah, that's C to A. And then equally stupid plastic that they put on this crap. Why they need plastic when they've already got a twist tie on it, I don't know. Probably just to irk me during an unboxing. All right, so we've got, I don't know, whatever length that is. It's span of one arm, my chest, and half of another arm. Maybe 5 foot ish. All right. We got the peel. Oh, that's not even over the lens. This one's over the lens. Oh, neither of them are on the lens. Oh, I guess there's a third one. There's a third one. Come on, stop twisting around on me. Doggone it. Now it appears that there's a peel on that lens. Yeah, there it is. Okay, and then they've got plastic around the body. Again, pointless, but yeah. All right, so we've got a USB Type-C on that end. Give me a second. All right, well, we'll see what we get if we try to run it again. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I suppose I should see what I can do with this. Do I need to have like OBS open to go with it? I don't even have OBS installed on that machine. All right, so this is going to be an adventure. Do it live! Do it live! If TVJ's not going to do it, then I will, right? You know. Had to make you laugh, Jay, during your drive. He'll hear this tomorrow. Okay, we'll get OBS Studio installed. And we'll see what we can do with this. White balance, zoom. Launch. All right, maybe. whatever that's doing. View all settings, presets, image. There we go. Use for recording. That's fine. Apply settings. Okay, so we've got a scene. We are going to add video capture. Look at that. Oh, that's brightness. Zoom. Nobody wants to see that. White balance automatic. Brightness. There, you get the ceiling view. Ceiling cam. All right. So I guess we've determined that this software does in fact work in Linux, and yeah. So cool. Okay, so that's Zoom. Cool. That's pretty cool. So we know that this does work fine on Linux. So I'm happy. Plus that's got a 1/4-20 mount on it. So ideas are going off in my head right now. So looks like we're even getting. Let's just do that. So hey, that's all right. So what do we have? H.264. Camera 1. Resolution leave unchanged. Frame rate leave unchanged. Use buffering. And then OBS gives you okay, now I'm stuck in tiling mode. OBS gives you brightness, contrast, saturation, hue, white balance, sharpness, pan absolute, tilt absolute, and focus absolute. So some of this you can do in OBS without any other software. But the other test we could do is, I guess, just camera. Camera is not responding. Force quit. Camera still not responding. Force quit. Shot well, I don't think is what I want. Camera, video camera. Well, interesting. I'm surprised they don't have like a preview in this app. But it's still cool to know that it does in fact work on Linux. Pretty plug and play for the most part. Shot well. Which shot well? Photo manager. Yeah, that's not going to help us. Well, let's come here. Photo booth. Okay, so there's photo booth on Mac OS. Cheese was the equivalent. Cheese. Install. All right, so hey, it's all good. Open. Open. Or not. There we go. Hey, look at that. So video. If we do burst. I'm going to do this. Okay. So we've had a little fun. Sure. Image viewer. Yeah, that's a throwaway. Okay. Yeah, that's another throwaway. Yeah, that's not great either. So 1 out of 4, I guess, isn't awful. Oh well. All right. Well, I guess we've proved the point to whatever extent we were setting out to do so. Hey, I know it works on Linux now, and that was my main reason for picking this one up, and the fact that it's smaller and easier to travel with. So I have done I will say I have taken the OBSBot out and been to a couple of parks, and I've just played with some footage on that. I played with it downstairs, although the lighting conditions are not optimal. At some point, I'm going to order another one of these monstrosities and get the lights sorted downstairs, and get whole hog into the other channel, and you know I've got options now. So I guess that's all right. New channel name, Angry Unboxings. Never seen someone so miserable unboxing tech. I just rather use the tech than unbox it live. And it has more to do with the insanely stupid way that these companies insist on packaging some of this stuff. It's like, I get putting a peel on the lens, but putting it on the ends of the casing around the lens is bizarre to me. This piece that was on the bottom, completely unnecessary. And the stupid plastic bags around cables that already have a twist tie on them, also unnecessary. So I blame our favorite communist country on that one. My blood pressure is below 110/80, so I can skip my evening pill. I had an incident about 4 years ago where my blood pressure went off the scale, so now I am relegated to the 3 meds, but my doctor today said I can skip the most potent evening pill if I make the number. Nice. Yes, it is a massive light considering the size of this room. My good exam today did not save me from my annual echocardiogram and blood test in the next month. Yeah. For the most part, I've got used to it. Unless something has changed again, I haven't touched the settings since I did some testing with Josephus. So I just left well enough alone, and it's like, all right, well, if it needs to be bright, it needs to be bright. I'm surprised there isn't more glare off my bald head, but there is a preview in the Mac app. Okay, well, I unboxed it and hooked it directly to the Linux box. I didn't even plug it into the Mac yet, so I'll discover that eventually. Just yesterday, I updated a list of all my valuable tech for my wife. So if I kick the proverbial bucket, she can have that fire yard sale and make a few bucks. What you need to do is give her a list of contact information for all your YouTube friends, and she'll be able to unload it quickly. Joe might be closest, but out of the group, I've probably known you the longest. So I've got that going for myself, right? Sorry, Joe. I saw an opportunity and took it. My next Echo goes bad. Maybe I should post a list of my good stuff on my channel. I will have a minimum value included on the list. I would hate to have to come back for retribution. Light looks good despite the small room and big softbox. Yeah, well, I've started to see Neewer, Neewer. They've got some panel lights that are made for video, LED panel lights that are made for video with it's not a very deep softbox, but it's got a little softbox that attaches to it. And I've been looking at those, and I can't help but wonder if, those would be ideal for smaller spaces like this. Because I can always take this monstrosity downstairs where I've got higher ceilings and, whatnot. But I don't know. I've been overall pretty happy with this. It just takes up a lot of space. That's the biggest downside I see with it. I just hope my purgatory sentence is not too long. I want to party above the clouds. I go in August for my next cardio echo. Just did my blood test. Those YouTube friends will also pay for shipping and courier pickup. Right. I'll coordinate for your wife, David. Oh, that computer is obsolete. Uh-huh. Small light source equals harsher light. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. My younger son that lives with us in the know, so is in the know. So good luck. Well, alternatively, I wonder about a soft box that is less rectangle and more square. You know, not that would make a huge difference for what I do, but might be a little easier to manage. But I don't know. There was also, oh, I don't know. Um, that wasn't it. There was one that I don't know. I was probably looking at it at work or something. Anyway, I've seen some that are RGB, and I don't know if I want to get into that, dealing with non-white light for what I do. I don't really have a creative vision that encompasses something like that, but I've not really seen good examples of something like that in use either. Maybe that's more useful for just straight photography in a studio situation. I don't know. Anyways. You can get a different shaped softbox, won't change the light a whole lot, but an LED panel light that close would be very harsh and not wrap around the face. Interesting. All right. I will keep that in mind. Oh, bummer. I wonder if it'll be, an update or two, and then they'll have your camera supported. Isn't your camera relatively new, Terrell? Seems like I remember you talking about getting a new camera relatively recently. Sometimes it takes even commercial products like Aftershot a couple of updates before they catch up with all the new cameras that are released. But part of me now wants to get my other camera out and get it charged and take it to Illinois with me over the weekend. I'm not sure exactly what I would be shooting, but could be interesting, I suppose. Oh, here's one that I did see something like this. It is LED, but it's got the rectangular soft boxes, and it's a set for $65. Um, I don't know. I'm unsure on all this stuff. I don't really need to spend any more money, but considering it's only $10 off. And it's a brand I've not heard of. Meal Max. I don't know. Anyway. Dum dum dum. I'm sending pre-sales info now. My model's 2 years old. Interesting. Yeah, I would be interested to hear what they have to say about that. They also make soft boxes that aren't as deep but are still wide. That might make it better. Yeah, that's a possibility. I've also been considering shifting the light in the camera to sit more in front of me. Um, so what I would do is I would separate my monitors so that the camera would be straight on me instead of at the angle, just for a change of scenery, right? Um, so I thought about doing that at least for a little while for a few videos, and then I've got gaffer's tape on the floor, so I can always move stuff back to where I've got it now. So it's not a big deal if I don't like it here. I can move it back to where it's at right now. So um, that's a possibility too. Alonzo, welcome in. Working on the home network. Right on. Right on. So I guess we've hit all the points I wanted to hit for tonight. I don't think I've got anything else to really talk about. But yeah, I'm probably gonna take. I'll have both my laptops with me, the ThinkPads. I've been contemplating taking one of my B-Link machines down with me and doing an install of Bazite on that, because currently I've got Pop OS on the one machine, and basically all I've been using it for is a little bit of gaming on Steam. And you know, it's worked fine for that, but I'm curious to test out Bazite, and so I'm willing to, you know, spend an hour tomorrow night doing a backup of my existing Pop OS install, and then you know, running through the install of Bazite for a video or for a live stream or whatever. And hey, for those of you who have not seen midweek news yet, Linux has reached 5% desktop market share in the US. So, not that I'm going to be one of those people that goes on and on about the year of the Linux desktop or anything, but when I did the video that said things are different this time with the end of, you know, Windows 10 looming, I meant it, and I think a lot of non-US entities are seeing it that way as well. Because the city of Lyon, France, in part of their statement, they talked about digital sovereignty and being free from basically the shackles of American software companies. And you know, I get it. I get it. If I were a foreign government, I wouldn't want necessarily to be using software from a company that, you know, might have governmental agents that are hostile to my country. And so, you know, I can see the point. And, you know, it's a talking point that I've heard before, but I think the drum is beating louder this time. So just the 2 cents worth on that. Let's see. My key light is a GVM SD80D. $80 watt LED. Video light. Oh yeah, yeah. Seems like of course I'm not signed in. Okay, so that was the light behind me I don't have turned on tonight. So this light that's in front of me is the Godox SL60W with a rectangular softbox. Yeah, the newer 24 by 35 rectangular softbox. So I don't know. I had hoped to find some, like super great sale on another video light, but they aren't that much cheaper, unfortunately. But one of these days I will just say F it and I'll place an order and, finally get the lighting straightened out downstairs. So before we wrap up tonight, because we're closing in on 2 hours, we've got about 8 minutes to go, and I'll stick it out until the 2 hour mark. Does anybody have any feedback about midweek news episode that came out tonight? I'm open to any feedback on that. I haven't seen I don't think there are any comments on it yet. Doesn't appear to be any comments on it yet. Looks like 9 views, 0 comments, 2 likes. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. But we hit 14 live viewers. We're at 13 right now, according to what I'm seeing. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. They update me? Nope. Oh well. For those creators out there, if you haven't checked out the new layout for the advanced analytics, pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I'm real happy with this. Plus the fact that you can save custom reports makes me happy. All right, let's see. I do need to move it to a ceiling mount, however. No, I did a little bit of testing with it. I haven't got everything quite going yet. I'm not comfortable enough with it to do anything with it live yet. Going through my Amazon order history, there are things in there I never ordered. Did your wife or kids order it? I think it helps a lot having only black and 18% painted walls behind me. Oh, that probably probably would help too. Yeah. Did you use Google Translate or Chat GPT to translate it for you? Haven't had a chance to watch midweek news yet. Have yet to see it. Went from moving dirt to watching this stream. That's all right. I had really hoped to get it out this morning before I went to work, but it just didn't come together quick enough. We'll check out midweek news. Appreciate that, everybody. I want to send you more things to unbox. I print at least one thing on my 3D printer every day. No kids here. Wife doesn't order. She makes me. Well, hey, Google Translate. And what was their response? Did it make any sense at all? I only give Jeremy a like when he puts up the graphic. Okay, fine. You asked for it, Josephus. There. Now you've got to like my video. I just made that big enough so I could make a stupid face behind it and nobody would have to see it. We'll watch midweek news tomorrow. Cool. Just thanking me for contacting them. Gotcha. Well, definitely keep us posted in Signal if nowhere else. I'd be interested to hear what they have to say. Well, I could always seek revenge and start whistling and tell the dog that you want to take it for a walk, because what person in their right mind doesn't want to take the dog for a walk at 11 o'clock at night? But since you liked the video, I will give you a pass tonight. Oh my. All right. We've got a minute and a half left before we hit the 2-hour mark. A lot cooler out at 11. Yes, this is true. Got to be up early, though, unfortunately. Well, tomorrow's my late day. I don't have to be to work until 12:30, which I'm okay with, considering I've got to get up on the ladder, run some cabling outdoors, and it's going to be hot and not pleasant. Then I get to come home tomorrow night and pack for Friday, get the trash out. Then after the trash is picked up, I'm out the door and headed towards Illinois. So that's my plan. I'll give the Insta 360 a workout over the weekend, and just see what I could do with it as far as trying to pack as light as possible and still have a decent camera with me. Certainly better than the webcam built into the ThinkPad. But again, that ThinkPad is probably 8 years old. I don't know when the 460 was released. Um, 2016. So almost 10 years old. Which is fine. I mean, it's faster than my 2012 MacBook. So that's the reason I picked it up. And I got a second one because I got them each for under $100. And so I've got a backup. I'm still really trying to get used to the vertical tabs in Firefox. I mean, I like it, but the muscle memory keeps me going to the top of the screen. So I don't know. I hear about the word work yet again. Well, just work slow on all the projects your wife has for you, and then you won't have to, be a greeter at Walmart or whatever. I don't know what people on Long Island do when they're retired. Generally, I see a lot of people as greeters at grocery stores if they decide that they need a job to take up some of their time. Yeah, it's an option you've got to turn on, but if I jump over here, you can see that all my tabs are on the left side. The only thing that confused me about doing this, between the tabs and the tab groups, is that you've still got to come up here to search your tabs, which is a little counterintuitive to me. I'd like to have something in the sidebar that let me open up the search, or I don't know, be like Chrome and give it a shortcut combination. So anyway, all right, everybody. Well, those creators here on Long Island usually have some issue. What are you guys trying to say? Well, I guess I'll leave everybody with a joke. I actually told this to my dad yesterday. I said, and I heard this online somewhere. Do you know what food is the leading cause of death for married men? Wedding cake. uh, and on that note, I'm going to let everybody go. I'm going to go relax for a little while and maybe have another play with the Insta 360 on the Linux box, and see what happens with that. Right. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming in.